Good day to one and all. I'm Dr. Shashikala, Associate Professor. I would be talking on the topic of ethnocentrism. Introduction to ethnocentrism. We see that it is the practice of comparing other cultural practices with that of one's own. Automatically, we see that other cultural practices to be inferior. It is usually a habit of a group for taking granted the superiority of the culture. It makes our culture, especially with concern to the language, behavior, customs, religion, there is an yardstick which measures all these. And we consider that other culture as good or bad, high or low, in proportion to the way we judge it. So, ethnocentrism is judging another culture solely by the value and standard of one's own culture. Here, it is a tendency that we see that own culture as superior. It applies to one's own cultural value and judging the behavior and belief of the people raised in the other culture. It is somewhat, we can call it as a natural proactiveness of a human psychology. We see that ethnocentrism may lead to xenophobia. The word which come from the Greek word xenos means strange on the foreigners, and the phobia means fear, which means fear and hatred of strangers or foreigners. So, xenophobia can manifest itself in many ways, including the relation, the perception of an in-group, out-group, sometimes fear of losing their identity, suspicion of activities, desire to eliminate its presence to secure some sort of purity. We may call it as some sort of stereotypes. Next, we talk on the meaning and definition. We usually see the term which was coined by the American sociologist William G. Sumner in the year 1906. In his famous book Folkways, he has coined the term ethnocentrism, which is derived from the Greek word ethno and Latin word centric. It refers to the people, nation, or cultural group, and centric refers to the center. Thus, we say that ethnocentrism is the belief that one's own cultural or ethnic group is superior to other cultural or ethnic group. We also see that we can refer to some of the examples of ethnocentrisms which can be based on the religion, the Nazi German, the terrorist and the hate communities. So let's talk on the characteristics of ethnocentrism. It contributes to social solidarity, a sense of value and community among the people who share a cultural tradition. Another characteristics of ethnocentrism is it makes people everywhere think that the familiar expectation and their opinions and customs are right, true, proper, natural and moral. It regards different behavior as strange, unnatural, immoral and savage. Next, we talk on the function of ethnocentrism. The main function of ethnocentrism is maintaining order. They are more apparent to those which promote social change. So, firstly, we say that ethnocentrism serves to promote social solidarity, loyalty, morale, and act as a protection against the change. Ethnocentrism group seems to survive better than tolerant group. Ethnocentrism justifies sacrifices and it sanctifies the maritime. Ethnocentrism reinforces nationalism, patriotism, and it is likely to promote conflict, as the record of the past war, religious and racial conflict reveals that without ethnocentrism, a vigorous national conscience is probably impossible. We see in the Indian national movement, which has been one of the best example of this role. So, nationalism is but another level of loyalty. In totality, we can say that ethnocentrism, according to the famous study of Adorno, the authoritarian personality, he dealt with the ethnocentric personality which was concerned with explaining attitude towards other outgroup in the American society. They found that ethnocentrism tended to be associated with authoritarianism, dogmatism, rigidity, political and economic conversion. And they also implicit as an anti-democratic ideology. Thus, the loyalty towards outgroup was often generalized and projected onto the other outgroups. The concept of ethnocentric personality serves to link the emergence of ethnic identity to the process concerned with the formation of intense outgroup hostility. The greater the outgroup hostility is greater than sense of in-group identification. Thank you one and all.